So hello everyone, this is Abhi and today we are going to start our new series of React.js. Yes, we are going to start React.js. So firstly, what is React? So React is an open source React is an open source JavaScript library developed by Meta, which was formerly Facebook, for building reusable and interactive user interfaces. Interactive user interfaces using components. So, using components, we can see here there are many new terms which we are going to learn and know in this series. So, firstly, let's start with what is React.js. So, we have already seen that React is an open source JavaScript library developed by Meta, formerly Facebook, for building reusable and interactive user interfaces. User interfaces means what appears on the screen of the users, and using components. Using components. This is a important term in React. We are going to learn this in the upcoming lectures. So React does what? React to do follow component based architecture which allow us to divide the user interface into reusable components. Yes, reusable components. So how does it do this? React uses a virtual DOM. Now this is also a new term. This is also we are going to learn in the upcoming lectures. So React uses a virtual DOM to efficiently update only the chained part of the web page. Only the change. Suppose this is a counter which was initially 0 and this is a button says click. Whenever user clicks this button, this counter updates and goes and increments its value. Suppose for the first time when user clicks this button, the counter goes from 0 to 1. For the second time when user clicks this button, the counter goes from 1 to 2. So we can see that only this part is updating in the user interface. So this is done by the virtual DOM concept, which we are going to learn in the upcoming lectures. This is only the introduction part of React. That's why I am not teaching it here. So next point about React is it is widely used for building single page applications. Single page applications, SPAs. This is also we are going to learn in the upcoming lectures. The next thing which we have to note, one important thing and in detail, is what is a framework. We already know that React is a open source JavaScript library, not a framework. So when someone says React is a framework, he or she is totally wrong. React is a library, not a framework. So let's understand the difference between a framework and library. To understand the difference between a framework and library, let's take an analogy. Suppose you are building a house, or you have built a fully furnished you have built a fully furnished house. You have built a fully furnished house which already has rooms built in, kitchen built in, plumbing done. Let's say plumbing done. You just have to arrange your furniture and start living there. So this is a fully furnished house. You just have to arrange your furniture and other things and live there. Rooms are already available, kitchens are already available, plumbing is already done. So this is what we can say An analogy to framework. An analogy to framework. How? Let's see that. So framework is a complete structure. Yes, framework is a complete structure that provides rules, architectures, and many built-in features. But on the other hand, we can see that React does not provide various rules, architectures, or built-in features. It only provides one feature, which is building UI. This is the only feature React itself provides. That's why it's not a framework, it's a library. Now take an analogy for understanding what is a library and how React is a library. So if we take an analogy, we can say that take a toolbox, which contains different tools, screwdriver, screwdriver, nails, hammers, etc. And whenever you need, let's say you need screwdriver, you pick it and use it. Whenever you need nails, you pick it and use it. Whenever you need hammer, you pick it and use it. That's how library works. Library is just a collection of reusable library is just a collection of reusable code that you call whenever you need it. Whenever you need it, just like this toolbox. Whenever you need some tool, you pick it up and use it. Similarly for the library. So this is an analogy to understand library. So by concluding these facts, we can say that React React is not a framework, it is a library, because it only solves one problem. It only solves one problem, which is building UI. Which is building UI. It does not provide features like routing, state management, authentication, form validations, etc. things. It does not provide its own. For let's see now how can we do these things in React, like routing, API calls, state management, forms, if React does not provide it itself. So for doing routing, we will see what this is in upcoming lectures. For using routing in React, we use React plus React router. For making this happen, React itself does not provide routing. For API calls, we use React plus Axios. React itself does not provide API calling or fetching. For state management, we use React plus Redux toolkit. For forms validation, we use React plus hook form. We will see all this in the upcoming lecture. This is just an introduction part of React. That's why I'm not teaching it here. So let's move to the next part. One last thing I have to quote in this video, that React itself is not a framework, but it provides there are many React frameworks such as Lec.js. We will see about this in any other video, but the main fact is React itself is not a framework, but there are many React frameworks which are available. Next.js is built on the top of React. but React itself is not a framework. So that's all in this video. See you in the next one.